Yeah.
Yeah, really, I'm
Uh,
just counting down the days for my vacation.
yeah. About to be that time, huh?
Yeah, made made my arrangements, um, plans and all to go back home and
Hmm.
for my sister's wedding and all. So that is set in
Uh-huh.
stone.
All right.
So really,
Are
I'm
you
just hoping
excited?
to get this housing situation squared away before I leave.
Yeah. Well, I mean that kind of you were kind of waiting on the job to figure out what was happening there, right?
That's correct.
You gotta love it when it's getting it both coming and going, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to exercise patience. I'm doing okay so far, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I say.
I feel you. I feel you. It's,
About yourself?
yeah. You see me. It's about as good as I'm gonna get, I guess.
Mm.
So it's been a rough one, but it'll be all right. You know, I'm still here. So um, here's something that I wanted to. Today I was just kind of listening to the TV as I was doing some other shit, and they had. Do you remember Rebecca Schaefer? She was a actress, like back in the on this show called My Sister Sam. She's like she's the reason that we have anti-stalking laws now. Um, she had a paranoid schizophrenic stalker who murdered her. Um, he had he had harassed several celebrities before he became fixated on Rebecca Schaefer. Showed up at her apartment and murdered this little girl. Um, and basically, that was like the birth of the anti-stalking laws here in the United States. Um, but the parents, they put the parents on the stand, and this is what got me, B, and I'm sure you'll understand why. They asked the mother, well, did you get his medication filled after y'all yoked him out of the, mental health facility? Oh, I can't recall. What? Bitch, you can't recall? He just, I'm sure you can recall because if anything needs to be recalled right now, bitch, this is the time to do some fucking recalling right the fuck now. And it just blew my mind that when shit like that takes place, when you have a member of your family that's a fucking out of control Looney Tune without medication, you pull them out of a mental health facility and don't ensure that they take their medication and some shit like this goes down, you ought to be held criminally liable for that shit. Really, you should. You know, this whole shit with with bitches knowing that people are just out there on this whole other fucking level and just feeling like it's perfectly okay to oh no, it's cool, you're either going to sink or swim with it, bitch, what? No. See, relevant information is what's happening here, okay? The shit that's taking place is some shit that I need to know, and I need you to come off of that fucking information. Like, what is it going to take to get these people to understand that if you know that a member of your family is like certified on that fucked up, you know, people need to be knowing that shit. People need to be informed so that they can make a fucking informed decision. Nobody needs to go into some shit half-ass blind. Is what I'm saying. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, I can. Uh,
Can.
yeah, far too much. I wish I didn't understand where you were coming from, but I do. And
Exactly.
there,
We both have been on the spectator side of this shit. You know, and I gotta tell you, I don't like the way it fucking feels.
I'll say this. Um, I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but for about 3 months after I finally, well, no, after the police finally took her away. I was going to say after I pushed her away. No, that was the police. Let me correct myself.
Let's be real. Yeah.
Um, like for about 3 months, more or less, I was a zombie. Essentially, I went to work. I I was physically there. Mentally, I was in another place, and I
Yeah.
came home, and I didn't do much of anything from the time I came home till the time I had to wake up again. Like I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't talk to my family. I didn't talk to my friends. Like I literally just was just in my not hotel, Jesus, apartment, just every single day. Weekends I didn't do anything. Like I was not in the place to do to just talk to anybody, to interact with anybody because I was just still reeling from that just avalanche of shit that I was dealing with, and finally not dealing with anymore like on a daily basis, but still the after effects were, profound. And
Exactly.
I spent a lot of time trying to figure out, okay, was there something wrong with me that caused this
Exactly.
person to go off? You blame yourself because initially because you nobody can like you don't know you've never experienced like anything like that before, and so you think yourself, okay, with something that I did that caused them to just go off and just completely lose their mind, start you know throwing shit and trying to attack you and all this other shit. um yeah I I don't know how I managed to like function. Somehow I did. I don't know, but I remember one day, um, my my family came by, and I think they knew, that I was going through some stuff. But my sister, remember, she was what 20? No, she was. I think still been in college actually. Come to think of it, at the time. And while my parents understood more, she did not because she couldn't understand why when we had been so close before, suddenly I was just incommunicado with everybody. So
Right.
they came by one day and essentially just to say, hey, we know you're going through this, but, you know, we need to know that you're okay at the very least, just some kind of communication, even a brief call, brief text, some kind of communication. And,
Exactly.
I couldn't look at any of them in the eye. Like I was really couldn't, especially when it
Yeah.
came to my sister. Um,
Yeah. It's humiliating.
oh,
It.
sure. Uh, dude, everybody in my life, work life, restaurant, everybody knew something had gone down, and you just to try
Exactly.
to drag yourself into just to go to the store, you just feel like everybody's just looking at you like, yeah, I bet you fucked up or whatever,
That's the bitch right there that done fucking made him come out the damn brain with it. Like I didn't know, my nigga. No, I did. Like what?
but
How,
but
huh?
to kind of get back to the original point, like when it comes to the families, I I felt a profound sense of like betrayal, especially now. Remind you, in my case, the family actually
Oh yeah,
liked me, and you would think, stupid me, that
yeah,
they would at least have said something, but literally all the information I got about her was via actually doing the background check. After her threatening uh, uh, voicemails and like, I think over 1,000 attempted phone calls when I did actually call the police out there the first time around. Uh, and I remember the officer's words. after I told them her name, and he turned and he ran the report and everything, and he turned to me and he said, "Do you know who you're dealing with?" You don't want to hear those words, okay? You
Yeah,
don't ever
exactly.
in your life want to hear those words. But again, like it all came out via the law. So I had to find out all the things that she had done, all the things that she'd been in, well, both in behind bars and behind psychiatric doors for. And it just hit me like all at once. I'm like, holy shit, who the fuck have I been, who's been sharing my
Exactly.
bed? Who's been sharing my
Exactly.
bed for X amount of
What
months?
the fuck has really been going on? Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely, you know what? Listen, when he when all of his paranoid shit started revolving around the fact that I was there, and Brian, it was, I literally could watch him change into a different person right in front of my eyes. It was the look in his eyes, Brian. Like I can't explain it, you know, but I just watched him change into a different person. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know, I've never been more like what I can't understand why. You know, like I'm just sitting there like I didn't do anything to you. I don't understand. I don't understand. You know, and it.
And remember what I said, I think maybe, I don't know, the day or two after was this, I promise you, this has happened before with
Right.
him and his family. And they just, like they were saying, they just go from, or he, Biden, goes from one person to the next person to the next person, and they go through this whole cycle all over again. And
Yeah.
it,
They were the cleanup crew.
yeah, I mean,
They
they
custodians.
responded in an efficient manner, didn't they? I mean, they were
Oh
like
yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I
It,
mean, I've never fucking seen anything like it, B. I've
yeah.
never seen, and until you mentioned that, they've done this before. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know, what type of what type of scenario, I mean, these motherfuckers were like the Oompa Loompas, I mean, they just came in and wiped the motherfucking shit down, and I'm just like, did I just get Willy Wonka in this bitch? Like, I feel as though I've been Willy Wonka. I had the golden ticket, my nigga, and I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? It just, what?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, this is all related to the same point, but no, I mean the speed in which they got you the fuck out of there.
Oh,
Uh,
that's an efficient group of motherfuckers
I
right there. That's an
mean,
efficient group of motherfuckers. Listen, I'd hire them hoes. I
you
swear to
know,
God.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, they could clean an
Listen,
office building in
think
like
about
2 hours flat. Like,
the
boom.
labor costs. The labor costs would not be exorbitant. You know what I'm saying? Like these niggas is efficient. Like they had a whole little crew rolling with it. Now I'm just like,
But see,
bruh, I was floored.
I think I had to ponder this again, and I hadn't, there's some thoughts I hadn't thought about it in some time now, but it just, because of this, some similarities, I had to really just dig in and think, man, what were all my feelings during that time? And I think when it comes to the families, they're more concerned about like not so much the like full health of the individual in question, but more they don't want them to get into any kind of trouble, which
Absolutely.
means that
Absolutely.
you become collateral damage, which means
Certainly.
any, any damage that happens during the relationship, they that's not a concern to them. They like I don't think that they ultimately want them to get the help that they need, because that would require a disconnect between that disturbed individual and the family. Like I think that they're much more concerned with just trying to take care of
Saving
them as
face,
best that they can.
saving face, and babysitting.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what it is. Like how do you like go about with an adult child who is otherwise fully functioning aside from this
Right.
craziness? Um,
Right.
like there's not really a middle ground because you can't they can't be out like fully on their own. They can't
Right.
move away from their family, and that's another thing that I noticed is they can't be away from their family. Like they literally can't. Like
We
you know,
lived right across the street from his parents, bruh.
okay. Case in point. Case in point. She lived with her mother. Case in point. Like now, of course, that's there's a broad generalization there, but nevertheless, like still, that's a sign. Like if you can't be that far away from
I'm
your
telling you,
family, you
I've
know,
never had I've never had to uh I've never seen a scenario like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I've never had to recognize that as a for what it is. I've never had to recognize that for what it is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the speed and efficiency of these motherfuckers should be envied by NASCAR crews around the fucking United States. Okay, I'm talking about these bitches had the tires off. Okay, the hood was up. I'm talking about windshield was scrubbed down. We 45 seconds into the stop. Okay, I'm
mm,
just like, whoa.
mm,
My head was still spinning, and these bitches slapping my car on the ass. We ready to roll. You heard me? Like I'm just I've never dealt with such an efficient team on the labor side. I'm talking about what? Be man. Like my head was still spinning a week into this shit, just thinking to myself, you know, if I'm 2 weeks in, and I still can't wrap my brain around it. It is what it is. I I've come to accept it for what it is, but I've never fucking seen anything like it, and I hope that I never do again.
mm,
It was uh, done with such cold, uh, just an aloof approach to everything. I was clinical at that point. I was simply a problem to be removed.
mm,
And and I don't think I've ever had to deal with a situation where that has been my role. And it wasn't something that I'd ever like to revisit. You
mm.
know, so
And let me tell
so
you
I think we
this.
will. Mm-hmm.
Um, had this progressed for a longer time, and it ultimately it would have come out at some point, but
I'm sure.
had it progressed further, uh, what I think would have happened is that you would have seen, little signs like that,
Sure.
little outbursts, that kind of thing. And then now there would, and I don't know if this if it already happened, but there would be accusations of what were you doing here, what were you doing there, where are you going, but just paranoia, you know,
Sure.
which I know you described to me a few times before, but it's something that kind of happened like in this big just like
It was one big episode, and you know, I, I guess because I'm, so used to looking for signs of a different nature, that I didn't. It blindsided me, and I was, and still am, um, just absolutely floored. and I think that is a lot of the shock is still with me. I've not I've not gotten through that part of it yet. It went from one extreme to the other so fast, and I have not yet had the time to regain my senses. Do you know where I'm at with that?
Mhm.
It was
And how can you? I mean, as I told you hundreds of times at this point, like no, nobody can anticipate that. I mean, you've written ad nauseum about like men who are adulterous, men who are duplicitous. Like
but never
that's
this.
yeah, like that is
That's my norm. Yeah, that's my
well.
norm. And
Yeah,
had it
I was
been,
gonna say, I was gonna
yeah,
say
had it been the whole ass hoe thing, I could have
yeah.
dealt with that. Because I've got the skills in place. To handle that. I've been there. I rode that train in, my nigga. I got this. But when it comes to sitting in the stands on the flip side of the motherfucking straight jacket, I ain't had a clue how to. Brian, I swear to God, like I literally watched this man turn into a different motherfucking person in front of me, and I didn't, I've never, and and I still I can't comprehend it, and I understand why they came in so efficiently to cut all ties and because that's a lot of what if, and that's a lot of, do you understand what I'm saying? And like, if he was to show up at the door right now, Brian, I'd open it and tell him, all right, let's get you some meds and see how this shit goes, and I know that I would, and I guess that's something to be grateful for. At least they're there to make sure that shit doesn't happen, so I guess that's why the clinical efficiency with the severing of the ties.
And I tell you this, that I mean, the way it was done, but the severing of the ties, it had to be done. It had to be done because
I know, I know it did.
it, like, even now, I would rather run away. Well, I did, quite frankly, I did. Um, but like, because, and in large part, well, I said maybe half of the reason was because I don't want to know what my reaction would be if she were to show
Right.
up at the door right there. Like, I don't want to even, because I think maybe twice, more or less, during that time we were together, like, we broke up and got back together. And each time, like, there was a part of me that wanted to, I wanted to save her.
Yeah.
And
What did I just say? What did I
yes,
just say?
exactly. That's
Let's go
that's what
get you
made me
some
think of it.
meds, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I would. I know that I would hurt myself to fix him, and I know that I would,
Mhm.
and so I'm glad that they did it, but it doesn't make it feel any better,
No, of course not.
but there was, it was out of necessity,
Mhm.
and I get that. I do. Um, yeah, I guess. I guess that's the point that I'm at now, is trying to internally rectify the situation, because um, I can't seem to I can't seem to uh, I can't get the math right. My whiteboard's not adding up, bruh. You know?
And it won't. It will never add up because the thing about it is there are certain like character traits, certain personality types um, that attract these kind of people. Now, these are not, again, to be clear, these are not like flaws, but they are like personality traits where people like this can front for a certain amount of time before their craziness leaks out. And
Sure.
having a big heart is by far um, the most enticing thing for people like
Well, I don't know
this.
how the fuck I got tangled up in it then, because you already know shit. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what the fuck.
Yeah,
Apparently, he had me mangled and tangled with somebody motherfucker else.
but it's
Shit.
it's it's something that
People fixer,
I
UV. It's the people fixer. You know,
yeah, that
like
that's what
you,
it is,
you, you already
and
know. I don't send anyone to the island of the broken toys. No, absolutely not. Just get me a Phillips head and some duct tape. I got this shit, Bubba. Let's get this motherfucker back on the production line. We got this.
mhm.
When the fuck am I gonna learn, bro? When am I gonna learn? You can't you can't
Well,
fix
I would
people.
say like that you can't uh like put all your eggs in one basket. Like you have
Listen,
to keep you have to reserve some of yourself for yourself. You
I
know,
had 8 dozen of them motherfuckers in that basket, okay? I'm
I
talking about
know.
I had eggs on top of eggs on top of eggs, bruh. Listen, I stuck a guinea motherfucking hen down in that bitch too, all right? Listen, this basket was so motherfucking heavy. You heard
I know.
me.
I know.
The damn window was busting. It was crazy. It was crazy, big man. Like shit. Oh, it's all right now. Just leave the bottom of my basket laying there with the broke ass eggs, okay? Them Oompa Loompas finna come through here, wipe all that shit up.
But see, that's what. but that's what people like these do is that they drain every ounce out of you, you know, because of your openness and willingness to invest every last iota of yourself into the relationship. They will drain that. They will
Yeah.
suck you dry and have no um have no remorse, have no guilt whatsoever about doing that to you. Because again, they'll move on to the next person once the family comes in, does the cleanup, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And
It's an intermission. It's an intermission is all it is.
yeah,
You know? That's exactly what I feel like. Like it you know, um,
and for the rest of their life, uh, like this is what it's going to be for people like that. Like their family is always going to have to be, I was going to say nearby, across the street, you know,
right, right.
to take care of them, to babysit them, to clean up the mess that they left behind, and so on, and on and on and on. And
Okay.
it's again like it's going to happen to another woman with him. Like it just is, because there's always going to be somebody um where their outward appearance, their initial impression is wonderful, like as
Sure.
as as you saw, they could put on a very good show
Right.
for.
But the moment that it got real, the moment that it got real, the moment it became real for him was, you know,
Mhm.
it, now that I look back, there were little slips, just little, but again, I'm over here looking for hoe behavior.
Mhm.
I'm not looking for, for fucking eye ticks. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here. I'm over here in the area that I dwell in. My nigga, I'm over here in whole field. Some shit going crazy over here with my fucking left eye. And I'm just,
You
I
were
was.
speaking a different language essentially. You were
You heard
looking
me.
for
You
you were
heard
looking
me.
for Italian. He was speaking German. Like it's just two different paths.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and look, I mean, yes, in hindsight, once you take the time to um, start healing yourself, you are going to look back and see, oh yeah, there were these little red flags here and there and here and there. And I mean, look, we're all, hindsight Columbos. That's what we do. We look back at other
Absolutely.
people's situations retroactively and say, yeah, man, there was a sign there, there's a sign there, there's a sign there, you should have done it, blah, 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 blah. But when you're in
Yeah.
the situation, like, I mean, it's love. I mean, logic and emotion, oftentimes they don't mix. I mean, me,
Well,
I try to be as logical as I possibly can. It
well,
was
I'm the queen of fucking leaving my logic behind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
oh no, I'm paying for the trip, B man. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is this is not what the fuck was supposed to be going down. This was not on the agenda, homeboy. This was not. Okay, listen, I read and reread the motherfucking agenda probably 6, 7 times, and I'm telling you, this shit was not on it. Like, ain't nobody pencil no shit in. Nobody fucking, nobody called me for some late addition to some shit like it. No, no. Like I had no I had no, I didn't have a motherfucking clue. And I just feel, uh, I just feel like, man, like somebody done mopped up the motherfucking floor with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just, like I don't have it in me to be put together right now. You know, I, 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 I have it in me to exist at the moment. And that's about all I have. So I just
That's
been.
that's the start. That is the start. As I was
Yeah,
describing earlier, like just I existed. That's the
yeah,
probably the best way I could describe it. I was
yeah,
a breathing, eating, sleeping human
yeah,
being, but
yeah. But
you
that's it.
just, yeah,
You ain't getting
that's
another
exactly it.
you ain't getting another morsel out of me, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, hell, even I'm writing white papers for work. Hell, you read it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even it's like I think to myself, there's never in my life been a time that I'm not funny. That's the one thing I always had, regardless of the situation. Like I said, I can have a good time at a fucking insurance seminar, at a funeral procession. You know what I'm saying? I'm always, inappropriately laughing and cracking some badass jokes. But, in this situation, man, it's like my funny's gone, and now I'm gonna tell you what, that shit kind of pissed me off, because that's the one part of me that ain't nobody ever been able to take, and I woke up for a solid week, like I don't even think I got a fucking that's what she said in me right now, and I mean, damn, like that's elementary,
That's some first grade kind
That's
of
a
stuff
given,
there.
Bubba. That's a given. You know what I'm saying? But I really, honestly, just it was like it took too much. It took too much from me to even. It took everything. You know.
I think also one of the hardest, like cold, cold-hearted realizations that I had to come to was that no matter what I did, there was no possible way in which she could love me as much as I did her. Like
Yeah.
she couldn't, literally couldn't.
Yeah.
And that was a very hard pill to swallow, because
It's a hard pill to swallow.
you invest all of your emotions into that person, and you assume that it's being reciprocated from the other side, and then
Absolutely.
you ask yourself, when something happens like that, um, I wrote it in one of my answers on Core, actually. I think something about like why I don't cry in front of any woman, whether it be somebody I know, somebody I don't know, and it's because of her. I mean, just you know, full
Sure.
on. But one of the things I said was that oh, it was something like it took me years to of like going through this in my head of somebody who truly loves you wouldn't treat you like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I was still, as I described in my answer, I was still in that stage of like, what did I do? You know, did I do something wrong? Was I not, I don't know, as caring or whatever it was that I could have been? And I just kept going back to that, like, how could somebody who claims to love me treat me like that? How could they, you
Absolutely.
know? And that's a question that you can't answer because they, again, they don't have the ability, they don't have
Capacity.
the emotional
They don't
depth
have the
to,
capacity. Yeah.
you know,
It's like it made everything that he ever said to me hollow, you know?
that, oh,
Because
yes.
if you really felt that way, if you really, there's no way, because I know I couldn't, and you're right, it is. It's a cold ass, but like I can't tell you how many times I've gone over that in my head. Like, was any of it
Was any of it
anything?
real?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the reason I want to fucking delete the pictures, man, because it's like it'll take away the only proof that it ever happened.
You just hit on two things there that really, Jesus. You said hollow. Okay. Now, and I go back to again all the time and energy and emotion, love you put into a relationship, only to discover at the end, as I said, that's the perfect word, hollow. Everything that they said was hollow. Every
Yeah,
intimate
it
moment
had
was
no
hollow.
basis. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was empty.
all you called it hollow. I think for the longest time I just said it was all surface level, and the fact that they could
Yeah,
turn on a dime, that mood swing from just happy, just like jubilation to anger, jubilation to distrust, jubilation, flip, just like that. And like I, there's no way that if it was any deeper, you could switch it up like that quickly. The other thing you mentioned, the
exactly.
pictures.
Like it,
Okay.
it barely even had to be hit with sandpaper, be man, and it was gone.
Hmm.
It wasn't etched. It was just superficial.
Now you mentioned the pictures. Okay. I I don't even like saying it, honestly, I don't. But I deleted most of them. I still have one, okay, that I couldn't let go. And I remember it was the night of her grandfather's birthday. This was like 2013, I think. A lot of her family and friends came over to this restaurant over in I think like East Houston. It's like a seafood place. Great time. I mean, it was a great evening. We all had a great time, and her mother took a picture of us like up against the night sky. It was very photogenic. And
Yeah,
that's the only picture I have of her. And even now, I can't quite let it go because, as you just said, like it is the only physical
evidence.
remnants,
Yeah,
of a relationship. And I'm
yep.
like,
Otherwise, I'd be sitting here like, was any of it? Did it ever
it,
even happen?
I feel like the time it has to mean something somewhere. I know that it didn't mean much to them, but it has to mean something to me, and that's why I keep it. And I've debated Like I would sit here just with my phone, like, hmm. And I put my phone down. I pick it up and I put it down. I don't think I don't. Ultimately, I'm not going to delete it because again, it has to mean something to me at least, and if not to her. And I think that's what
Otherwise,
you're going to run
what was it?
across, you know.
Otherwise, it was, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what you're going to run across now. Now, in your case, I mean, you know, you have the pictures attached to an article on a website, so that's a whole different level altogether, you know. Or several, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
several websites, excuse me, because of you, the
Yeah.
empire. Forgive me, but but you know, nevertheless, I mean, you'll have to make that same decision whenever you get to that point where like you
Sure.
just
I'm
I
I'm
don't I
trying
don't
to let it I'm trying to let it age for a little bit, because I know if I can get past this point, then it's just a part of my history. It's just another chapter that I've written, but it's getting over the hard part that that has got me wanting to, you know, um, just be like, look, man, I gotta shake loose
you know I
ours,
don't I don't think you should do anything in like in haste because obviously this is still in the processing stage. And all these steps will come gradually in time as you slowly move away from that time, you know. Oh, right. Essentially that uh to take your time in the entire process essentially, because there's going to be a temptation to try to get back to how things were as soon as possible, and it's just not feasible. um Fortunately you have several outlets to express yourself on, um as well as a group of people who well, a lot of people who hang on to your every word as well.
I mean,
So
not every word. I got some prepositions that people don't like at all. I tossed an adverb in there last week. Somebody got real angry. So, I
but
mean, it's not every word. It's just damn near every word.
yeah, I mean, you got people, you got friends and all,
Oh, for sure.
and
For
that's
sure.
yeah, that's
'Cause
a big.
otherwise, I'd just be sitting here clutching my fucking pearls, and wringing my damn hands. And it's hard to do both simultaneously. I don't know if you've ever tried to wring your hands while you clutch your pearls, but this shit is not a comfortable fit. Okay, it'll leave you a little discombobulated with all that bullshit. Like, huh? What? Not my pearls? No, this is terrible. This is a bad look for me. So I'm trying to Okay, so check this out. So they already caught some asshole from Virginia trying to fake his way into fucking. Are you seeing this
Yeah,
shit?
the guy with the
Filing
fake
around,
ID and all the ammo and
filing
everything.
yeah.
Yep.
Like what? Man, these fucking Looney Tunes. Look, I don't know what kind of fucking post tostios they eat out there in Idaho, but I'm telling you what, they need to stop it. They need to stop it immediately because this shit is not cute. It's not a good look. It's a terrible look. It's a fucking affliction, is what it is, son.
Well, apparently he told his mother that he was part of some kind of advanced security. So she didn't believe that he was there like in a criminal capacity. I'm like, but if you're part of some kind of security team, would you carry around a fake ID? I'm just saying, like come on now.
And you,
But
you
yeah,
know,
it's I'm not surprised. I think
again,
after
the
after
moral of the story. The moral of the story is these people's family know they're crazy.
yeah.
You know, you just gonna what? Keep it a secret? You feel like there's an unsuspecting public that really doesn't need to know shit, that shit, huh? I mean, that seems to be the running fucking theme today. you know, and I'm not comfortable with that. I feel like these bitches sitting on way too many motherfucking secrets around here. I'm gonna need somebody to come up off the knowledge
You know,
ASAP.
Kellyanne Conway, I think either today or yesterday, called all those insurrectionists true patriots. Like, really?
Hell,
Really?
you know,
Okay.
see, that's the type of shit right there make me slap the taste out of somebody's fucking mouth, you know, and that right there is why I can't be within arm's fucking distance of these bitches because you know me. Like, hold up, bitch. Did you just? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Let me smack the stupid out of you real fast because apparently nobody has ever tried it. I'm gonna be the one to test this theory out today. Let me see if I can shake some of that ignorant off you, bitch, because you listen, you coded in it, okay? It's like you rolled around in it before you got here, all right? Like it's too much. It's excessive. It's fucking excessive. Like this is this is just. I mean, this is some fucking debauchery happening, bro. Like, what
Yeah.
type of who the where they do that at? It's like Idaho. And that's why Idaho is not on our list of vacation motherfucking spots. Also, they fucking told me I pretty much don't need to come there. But still, you know, that's not a whole goddamn, that's not the whole state consensus. That's just some militant groups, 40, 50,000 motherfuckers that say we don't want a vacation there. You know what I'm saying? It's not all Idaho. I'm sure I'd be welcome somewhere in Idaho. Not really. But like I mean, not really. So I'm not welcome there. They've made that point abundantly clear. I'm just gonna leave that alone. So I mean,
Yeah,
y'all,
it'll be interesting. It's not the right word, but yeah,
nah, yeah,
I'm gonna watch with very close eyes these next few days to see what happens on inauguration day because these fools are emboldened.
and they did it. They with it right now, ain't they?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, listen, you know, it's what's absurd to me, man, is like these. I've never seen a group of diehards so serious since like Taliban, bro. Like these motherfuckers is right up there with these bitches that was fucking crashing planes. Like their level of crazy is like that fucking dedicated. Like I'm talking about. Listen, they okay there's no distracting these sons of bitches. Like you can't like fucking, ring a bell over here, get a bitch to nah, there ain't no it ain't none of that. Like they're fucking dead set locked on with it. Like it's like a pit bull with a tire, like you can't shake these bitches off of it. I ain't never in my life seen nothing so fucking like hardcore. These bitches are fucking hardcore.
And I mean, they have to feel a level of like uh comfort, arrogance to think that they can just storm the Capitol building. It would never cross my mind in my life to do
No,
anything like that and expect to come out of there
no,
alive.
exactly.
I'd be
Because
six
we
feet under
know
right
what
now
the
if I tried any of
repercussions
that
are.
nonsense.
We know what the repercussions are. And that's what leads me to believe that somebody has told them, hey, motherfuckers, there ain't gonna be no fucking repercussions.
Mhm. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean,
Any human being in their fucking right mind would be like, this shit finna go bad, quick, net, I'm out, you know? Not these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers is like, oh god, it's cool. Shit, we got the invite, bitch. You didn't know? They told me to wear my horns and everything, motherfucker. What? Like, that's not a regular party hat. That's not some
fucking
shit.
Minnesota Viking looking motherfucker. God
You
damn.
heard me? Dances with Karen? What you mean? Shit.
Jesus.
I'm talking about who? What?
And take
Like,
and taking selfies in the damn building. I mean,
bro, bro, they're like, hey, let's memorialize this moment, okay? Let's set this shit in concrete for future generations to look back on. is you retarded? Like what? Whatever. And that's why I'm saying they had to have some motherfucker in their ear, just like, oh no, shit ain't gonna go bad. Nah, wear them horns. They look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, wave that Confederate flag, bruh. That's not motherfucking. You know that
Now,
that.
just I was going to say something like that. The irony of true American patriots, in quotes, waving the
An enemy
flag
flag,
of
an enemy
traitors.
flag in the nation's fucking capital. That's a felony, first of all.
Yeah,
Secondarily, take your treasonous fucking ass somewhere and sit the fuck down because the horns don't look good, buddy. They don't. They're very last season. Somebody let you walk out the house looking like that. Your wife need to be smacked. Is what the problem is. Because just imagine. Okay, first off, B man, I would never let you go out like that. Okay, I'd be like, hold on, ho, whoa, where you going? Where you going? In them horns? No, the fuck you're not. Go back in there and change. Go back in there and change right now before you leave. You ain't
yeah.
gonna leave this house making me look like that. Hell no, you're not. Like, bitch, get them horns to fuck off. You take that fur that you got draped right off your ass. Put on some regular ass. Listen, if I don't see you in a t-shirt and some fucking jeans within the next 4 minutes, motherfucker, I'm coming in there swinging. Like, this is the type of shit I'm saying. Like, there should have been somebody to intercede this bullshit. Somebody in the, that's why I told these motherfuckers, listen, get Butch and Rennie right now, okay? Because they, no, you don't let them leave Shoney's before Murder She Wrote and go and fucking stage a coup. You don't. You send their ass home to watch Angela Lansbury just like every other Monday through Friday. Stop
Mm.
this bullshit. Somebody should have snatched these bitches the fuck up. And these families failing these crazy ass motherfuckers, be man. Like, get your crazy mama and daddy, put their motherfucking ass in the house, okay? I don't care if you got to do the double boat on the shit, okay? They don't leave the house tonight. You sit there and babysit them bitches, make them write sentences, make them hold hands in the motherfucking corner. Like, I don't care what you got to do. You better get some punishment happening in your household because you have failed them. You have failed them. Like you let. I would never let my people go out like that. I'd be like, what? No. Murder She Wrote about to come on. Where y'all going? Looking like that? No, you're not. No, the hell you are not. To the Capitol, honey. That's like 4,000 miles away. What did you? No, this doesn't. Just sit down here and tell me about your plan. Hold on, just let me grab a cup of coffee. Yeah, you ain't leaving right now. And I feel like that's all that it really needs to take place. It's for somebody to just question these motherfucking motives as they're walking out the door. Like, who is not double checking Butch and Rennie before they leave the house? Now, you know he's got a damn pistol in his waistband. You won't let your daddy leave the damn house looking like that. No, sir. No, sir, you are not. It's turn around. That is not your no, that's not a holster, daddy. That's tucked in the back of your pants. This is unacceptable. Go get your holster, first of all. Okay, you don't leave the house looking like that. But these motherfuckers just letting anything happen.
Just
Any
in the damn
old
waistband. Just
I'm saying, like he a gangster. So you are not a crip, sir. Go get your holster like you were taught in your gun safety class. Okay, this is
and they called themselves patriots. It's like you tried to
why you can
interrupt
call yourself
the
anything.
the electoral voting, process in
Well,
the
yeah, I
Capitol
can,
building.
I can
Like
call
that
myself
is
a
the
queen
very
of fucking England
definition.
if I wanted.
That's the very
You
definition
know.
of a treasonous act. Like the gap in
Okay, and
logic is just
if I stood
wow.
up today and said, I'm now Mary Queen of Scots, that don't make me Mary Queen of motherfucking Scots. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me a crazy bitch saying I'm Mary Queen of Scots. And that's what somebody is failing to tell these pussy motherfuckers. Listen, just because you say you're a patriot, Bubba, it don't make you no fucking patriot, okay? Like this whole horn shit, this whole dances with Karen's routine, this whole gun in your motherfucking waistband shit, this is not working for you. This is not a good look for you. Like, let me intercede on behalf of real Americans everywhere. You're fucking up, big homie. You need to go somewhere, sit down, and think about what the fuck you're doing for a minute. Like, have you put any thought at all into what's going on? I mean, even a fleeting fucking thought is better than what these motherfuckers are doing, because it's whizzing straight through me, man. It's whizzing straight through. Ain't nothing getting caught in the gray matter. Nothing. Like,
You know,
listen, if it was a fishing net, it would have a wide ass hole in it. Okay, like a beluga could swim through this motherfucker.
many of them are asking for pardons from Trump,
Absolutely.
and
You know,
which
he
is,
said he ain't fucking nobody else, right?
I mean, he's already just completely desecrated the whole
His
concept
dereliction of
of
duty,
presidential pardons to
his
begin with. Like,
his dereliction of duties at this point is expected. You know, I mean, come on. You know, if he was not about the fuckery, I would worry. You know, if he was actually sitting there with a pen in his hand and looked as though he was signing off on some legislation, I would get worried. You know, but him just dicking the fuck off and being a complete and total asshole about things—that's expected. That's anticipated. That's his everyday normal. You know, that's his motherfucking, that's his hangs her way. You know, that's his Monday through Friday gear. You know, but I mean, as far as if he were on point, if he were, looking as though he's trying to do something to, assuage the American people, when we hit 400,000 deep, I mean, yeah, I would worry then. I would worry because I would know that there was some fuckery afoot, But I mean, at this point, it's business as usual with this fucking clown, fucking bozo, you know?
yeah, I'm trying to. I was trying to think if we've had a worse president. I mean,
Hell no. Listen, they tried to throw Clinton out of office for a blowjob. Okay, and that at the time, do you remember that time?
yeah.
Okay, listen, everybody was so, oh, the audacity of this motherfucker. How dare he disgrace the nation's capital? Really? Yeah, because okay, we need to call Bill Clinton right now and fucking apologize. Like, he's sitting back somewhere getting his dick sucked right now, okay, and just laughing his ass off. Like, yeah, you thought somebody had disgraced the nation's capital. How you feel today, though? How do you feel today? Like, I mean,
I'll
Hillary
be
is
honest.
doing
Like,
what you so
I was gonna
bad.
just like take him to an escort. Like, not here you go, man. Come on, let's go, man. Like,
I mean, we owe
that's
you
so
one, Big
so
Bill. We owe
mild.
you one. Yeah, play your saxophone and get a blowjob now, Big Bill, because I swear to God, you did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. Like, we should have been so lenient with this motherfucker. And now look at us. We sitting here eating crow, feeling real shitty about the way we treated Big Bill.
I'll be like, Bill. I
I
mean,
mean, all he wanted to
like,
do was fuck the fat intern and live in peace, okay? And we had to fuck it up.
be like, hey, give us some fruit, some wine. You good? You straight, man? You okay?
Like,
Cool.
is
Hey,
everything cool with you? Like, I mean, we can get you another intern in here too. It's cool. Shit, we
just
got about a dozen out here.
just
Shit,
just
they
just
come
that massage
straight
right quick. Hold on.
to us.
You good, Bill? You
Yeah,
good?
I mean,
Okay.
shit, we got a fresh pop from Wellesley this week. What you want? Shit, we got Delta Zetas in this motherfucker today, Big Bill.
I mean, like, he Trump makes Nixon look like Eisenhower. Honestly, like,
Are you hearing me though? Listen,
Watergate is
okay,
like
he makes
is
he makes Nixon look like Kennedy. Okay,
yeah.
like that's how bad he is, and it's embarrassing as a motherfucker, man. Like, I read this parody uh article that a British writer had published in one of their rags over there. And listen, man, these motherfuckers is talking about, I mean, they're cracking jokes. They wrote it like a fucking reality TV review, bruh. Like,
Well,
listen, I get that. And I'm a comedy writer myself, but it's an embarrassment. This is a national fucking embarrassment. It's
now he's
disgusting.
been impeached twice in the same term. That is breaking new ground. It really is.
Bro, like, honestly, I knew he was gonna royally and spectacularly fuck some shit up, but even I had not the imagination that took this much motherfucking bullshit around. Like he has exceeded my expectations. I'll tell you that much. And that'll probably be the only time you'll ever hear me say those words. Um, I mean, he listen, this motherfucker. I ain't never in all of my 42 fucking years, be man, I ain't never seen something so damn just I mean mind-boggling. This is the epitome of fucking white trash taking place here. And now you calling out your white trash homies to come and fucking slam some wheels on the Winstars to get them off the White House lawn. But damn, Bubba, I mean shit, what y'all gonna touch your shit out in Walmart bags? Like honestly, I feel like this is the level of trash that we're being viewed as. It's like moving day in the hood. Hey, we ain't got boxes. No, we got a bag of dollar store garbage bags though. You know what I'm
Plastic
saying?
bags,
Like
right?
for real. And they double as suitcases. You didn't know? Like you can tote the shit out the fridge in them, everything. And it's like shit. That's $600 worth of food stamps in that freezer. We ain't letting that shit go bad. Come on now. And I feel like that is what, yeah, I said it. I feel like this is the type of motherfucker that's honestly doing some representation of us these days, and that's not a good look, baby. That's not a good, you know what I mean? I didn't came out of that. I wasn't trying to go back. Like this is not a good look at all.
And it's, I mean, if you think about it, it's like directly after, maybe one of the most like just dignified,
Oh, honey, the
classiest
classiest,
presidents,
the classiest,
So the
and both of
contrast
them,
is what makes
both
it
of them.
just so,
So bad, so bad.
yeah.
Because had we not had such a vivid memory of the classiest, couple to, quite frankly, I would say rival the Kennedys. You know, um, have we not had such a recent fond set of memories to reflect upon, it might not look so bad. Had he followed George W., and his ignorant ass, it might have been a little bit easier to swallow. No pun intended, Bill Clinton. But it's it's just such a stark contrast to what we were just graced with. And it's a terrible fucking look, man. It's honestly, it's sad, it's pathetic, and it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
And you mentioned Bush. I mean,
Oh,
talk
for the
about
love of
talk
God.
about
Well, I
you
usually do
know,
mention Bush, however.
talk about like retroactively. To me now, Bush is like a fun uncle to me. Like, he's not the brightest, kind of little, little goofy
Yeah,
at the family cookout,
he's
but
like
like,
a smart uncle.
it's like,
He,
come on,
he's
Debbie, come on, but that's how I
He's
feel
like
about him
my Uncle
now.
Pee Wee. He's like my Uncle Pee Wee. My Uncle John, my Uncle John's the smart one, the quiet one. My Uncle Pee Wee, though, he fun, but he ain't all there. You know what I'm saying? He kind
Yeah.
of he ain't the brightest motherfucking bulb in the lamp assembly. You heard me? but it's cool. It's my Uncle Pee Wee. It's whatever. It's expected.
That's exactly how I feel about Bush now. It's just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
come on, George,
It
like
could be
it's,
worse. It could be a whole lot worse.
yeah. And you know what?
And
I'll tell you what
sadly,
though. I'll tell you what. I didn't like him that much, but I didn't feel like he
detest
was
him.
ever like actively trying to work against.
Murder America? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you know what I
see, here's
mean?
the thing. All that George W. wanted to do was jump in there and fight his daddy's war. Okay. And it was cool because once he went in there and was like, hey, fuck you. You ain't finna talk shit about my daddy like that. And he got that shit squared away. They toe to toe. Shit was cool. We could move forward as a nation. This motherfucker here doesn't have an agenda that he is sticking to. He's off the rails with shit, bruh. He's come up from left field with it because he doesn't have a reason to be this much of a motherfucking moron and a bozo and a complete and total fucking traitorous coward piece of shit, but he's doing it anyway. That's why
And
it's
he's
hard to
so
follow.
damn just like,
There's no script, Bubba. There's no script to follow.
and he's so damn just thin skinned. I've never run across like a president
You know what?
who
He's like, listen, I didn't even like teenage girls when I was one. Okay. This pussy bitch is like a 14-year-old girl. I can't stand them little bitches. That I just want to snatch them the fuck up. And that's exactly how he is. Oh my fucking you're not gonna blah, blah. Bitch, sit down before I smack your little ass into next week. I twist your one little size double A so damn hard it'll fucking B cup you on the other side, little girl. Sit down, shut up. And that's what I want to do to him. I really do.
on a side note,
Mm-hmm.
that was a little bit of the old April
Yeah,
coming out there.
I heard it.
And
I heard it.
you know what? Hey, I like it. So
I heard
I had to
it.
add that in there.
You know, there's one thing that will always bring me back, and that's wanting to whoop somebody's ass for him, you know, because you know I got the anger management shit happening. So be glad I didn't finish my anger management course, okay? Because otherwise I might not have enough fire left in me to get this bitch stoked again. You heard me? So like okay, look, and nothing against the anger management app people. I love you, little app. You made me happy for some days, you know, whatnot, put me in a healthy state of mind, but right now I don't need all that. Right now we need the old angry ass April back in this bitch. Like I don't have the time to be a calm and fucking collected individual. I need all my angry ass interior to be reflected at this point, because otherwise I don't know, I might turn into a fucking wallflower or something. Who knows? You never know. I could go to the side of the meat. That didn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. We all know that's not gonna happen. However,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
look, you know, I mean,
Now, in my story that I wrote yesterday, I started off with to all the newest members of our little group here. Hi,
yeah.
I'm Brian. I try to make sure everybody doesn't commit a 187.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I
Um,
mean, because you're pretty much the only one I'm gonna listen to. You know, if I'm just like, oh, no, okay, check this out. I'm, okay, that's it. Somebody could get shot, and I'll just be like, ooh, B man, why you on my shoulder again, bruh? Like I told you about this shit. Look, take your Black Jesus routine somewhere else. Don't you see? I got business to attend to. And you'd be like, listen. Okay, I told you about this. All right. Do you know what the statutes are like here? They will fry you, little girl. All right. Like they still got the firing squad out here in motherfucking Idaho. Is this how you really want to go down? It's sure to fuck your hair up. And I was like, oh, not my hair. No, no, that's excessive. Don't do that. This shit is silky and lustrous. Why would they even? This makes no sense to me. Like, not my hair. No, anything but the no, that's not gonna work for me. That's not gonna work for me at all. You know, but another motherfucker wouldn't know to say some shit like that. They'd just be like, oh no. Oh, the situation has turned tragic. Yes, bitch, it has turned tragic. Shut up. I don't need a fucking narrator. I got this. Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Go sit with the rest of the fucking spectators. You're doing me no good at all. You know, so like there's a reason. There's a reason you're my wingman, be man. Because you know, I only motherfucker that can talk sense to the angry April. Angry April just like, I don't give a fuck what you hoes got to say. Oh shit, be man talking. Hold on, goddamn. So, you know, it's relevant. It's relevant. It keeps me from the nonsense, from the shit you can't walk back. So, and
well,
there's
somebody has to make sure that you know, you don't put lay hands on somebody and then that's it. And then I got to write you letters, you know, from from behind bars. I don't want to write letters to you, you know.
you don't. You ain't got
So
time for all that. You got schoolwork. You got
yeah.
motherfucking payroll. Like, no, bitch, my hand hurts. I got a cramp. You don't see? I'm getting a callus where my pen sits. Everything. Like this is. I'm not going there for you. And I'm just like, well, you better get a goddamn band-aid on your shit. Shut up. If I don't get some motherfucking postage in this hole today, we gonna have a problem. You don't want to see me on the outs, boy, because when I get home, motherfuckers better watch their ass.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
too fucking this bitch so fast. You don't even know. Well, what? When I hold on, I was about to. I was about to do my Tupac impression, but I can't even do it right now. I'm laughing too fucking hard. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
man.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you got stuck with this shit either. Listen, it's not my fault. All right. Like I gave you fair warning. I was like, "Man, I'm the craziest motherfucker I know." You was like, "Oh no, this is not too crazy." Actually, no, you weren't. You were like, "Oh my god, this bitch crazy," and I was just like, "I don't care. Now it's too late. Rah!" Like a leech. Come over here. Rah! It's a host. I'm so excited. You know that damn that the fucking the parasite that lives in the one fish's mouth that eats the fish's tongue so
Yep.
that it can live in the fish's mouth. Like that's me. I'm just like rah. Now your tongue, son.
It must be late over there for you, because man, you are just. You're just
You know what? Like
oh boy.
I swear to God, I have not been funny for 2 fucking weeks, and it feels so good to be funny for a minute. Like that was necessary. You heard me? So I'm not even mad about that.
I
So
did. I did notice a slight uptick in some people, upvoting stuff that I hadn't seen previously. Seems
mhm.
like our
Mhm.
audience is steadily growing.
Yeah, we got some new faces. We got some new faces, but we got some old faces too, and I'm glad it's like Julie Guillermo, she's been with us, since Jump Street. I'm glad to see her spending some time around. Fucking
Mhm.
Earl went back in, a few of the old schoolers. Lisa sent me an email too, and I appreciate everybody,
How are
being
things between
being
you and her?
I mean, it's touch and go, but it's still it was welcome to just know uh, that I wasn't sitting here by myself, you know, um, losing my goddamn mind. And I'm gonna tell you what, Sarah Malone, that's a solid fucking chick right there. Like, I can't I can't say enough good things about her, and I would not be sitting here today if it was not for her. You know, um, like old girl came through and saved my ass, big man. And I mean, I love that woman. I do. I always have. But
Mhm.
I mean, she she'll make me cry like a baby even talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's family. That's family to me. So um, I'm grateful for all of y'all. You know, um, you, Rachel, Sarah. Just everybody. Just being in my corner. Because I'm gonna tell you what, um, they didn't give a fuck where the fuck I was going. I was going. You know what I'm saying? And I like I said, just cold with surgical fucking precision. I felt like literally somebody had taken a scalpel to my life. And that shit was brutal. It was fucking brutal. Cold, just cold blooded. Um, that's all right though. You know, um, because you were right when you said the difference is this time I got a small fucking army, and I just thank God for that because I ain't a motherfucking thing without my team. And it's the hard times that remind you of that shit. Everybody want to everybody want to wear your jersey and shit. Rock your throwback whenever it's good times. But when you got punk ass times like right now, you know, um, a bitch don't really want to be sitting on a pine with you. So I
Mm.
I'm just glad that my team is, because it could have went real sideways real fast. So
Well, how's it go? Friends. How many of us have them?
mhm.
Friends, the ones you can depend on. Let's be friends.
Yep.
Now, I
Yep.
do want to give a special shout out to the uh, Kiwi stick figure extraordinaire, Michelle Steele. Um, she reached out to me and just asked, I think it was after you have posted something, um, like I don't know, like a day or two after what had happened, and she reached out to me just because she knew that you and I were close friends and all, and just asked how you were doing, asked any way that she could help and
My
all.
girl.
So
Yeah,
I just
that's my
want,
girl.
yeah, I just want to make sure that she gets her full credit
Hell
there.
yeah.
She's
Yeah, that's
solid people there.
shit. Brandy too, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, I talked to Brandy this afternoon, and I mean, because she's got an ex like you, and now like I, and and I know it's been hard for her to talk about, and but I tell you what, the old girl was right there in the mix, and like I said, I mean, it's everybody want to rock the throwback when it's good days, but when you when all you hold is a whole handful of L's, nobody really wanna ride with you no more. But shit, not these bitch faces. These bitch faces is like, bitch, we don't care. we don't care if you sitting there falling the fuck apart. Can't even be funny. We got you, boo. Like, well, thank you, bitch faces.
No, and
It's
talking about like it's hard for her to talk about it. It certainly took me a few years to really like discuss it at length with anybody. Um, and even then, like it was talking about strictly like the events that happened versus what was actually going on inside my head. And I'll tell you this: the stories, and they were like I used to tell the story about when uh, when she got high on PCP and was chasing me around the parking lot, because that one has a lot of action. It's a lot of action, a lot of moving parts. It's a story that I can tell
Yeah,
now
when
that I'm
she jumps in
removed
the
from
back
it.
of the truck, that's the part that every time I hear the part where she jumps in the back of the truck, I'm just like, this crazy ass
Oh
bitch.
yeah,
Like,
and the umbrella
yeah.
tapping on the back glass. Brian, Brian,
Hmm.
Brian,
Hmm.
Brian. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, like those stories are ones that I have told many times because just to demonstrate how fucking crazy she was towards the
Yep.
end. Um, and I tell you what, they do captivate an audience. I will say that people are like, no, she didn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, she did, and more.
Oh, the fuck she did. And
Uh, and so I've been able to tell like some of those aspects of it, but uh, the the primary reason why even what's that? It's 2021, so that'd be Jesus, eight, be, 7.5 years more or less now, give or take. Um, and it's something that it still lingers, to this day. And I obviously I wish it didn't, but I don't know. It's when it comes to any kind of relationships, I have a paranoia about them that would rival any like federal agent, CIA person. Like I'm
Mhm.
yeah, any little red flag of any sorts, I'm like, oh, I'm out. I know you coughed the wrong way. I'm done. Like
And
it's
now I get to add the whole, the whole this whole this whole god damn. I mean, there'll be nothing. There'll be no, like I have zero chance of there's it's never gonna happen. Like I'm this was the one that this was the one that broke me. So um congratulations. I hope you get a fucking Cracker Jack prize. You know, um, that's it. Um, that's it. So, um, all right. So we'll pick it up, pick it up next week if you want to.
yeah, I want to at least do one more before I head out to Texas, and that's going to. Hold on, let me look at my calendar here. My departure date is February 24th, but
Mhm.
I'm going to so departure 24th. I'm gonna get back on I think March. I think it was 6th or 7th, something like that. But I'm taking 2 weeks
24.
off basically. So
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
so
So I'm
February.
putting that in my calendar right now, so that I know not to murder anyone during that period of time because there'll be nobody to help me clean up the crime scene.
If you could just
So,
resist for just a few weeks,
I
I'd
mean, I'm not
appreciate it.
gonna make no fucking promises, but I mean, I'll give it the old college try. You know, like there ain't no guarantees in nothing, big man. So, but I
Say
am gonna.
basically from February 21st to March 7th, I will be uh, out of action.
Okay. All right. So I got it. I got it in here. All right. So B man in the H. All right. If you run into Slim Thug, tell that nigga I said, it's that 6'6" long dick slim nigga sticking your chick. So
If I run across the same dude I think I told you that story, the guy's like, you know who grew
yeah,
up over
yeah.
here? And I'm just like, dude, I don't know.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man.
I find that story so fucking entertaining too, because I got a deep affinity for Slim Thug. I really do. Like he just I don't know what it is about him, but um that's exactly what it is. That line that I just said. I was like, who the fuck does this dude think he is? Well, apparently he's that 6'6" long dick slim nigga sticking your chick. I mean, what else would he be? So
And now I can
anyway,
give you a guided tour of his old neighborhood. So hey, there you
heard
go.
that, heard that, heard that. So yeah, all right. Well, shit, we'll pick it up. Next week if you want to pick it up. But let me know. Let me know because they're supposed to make that decision this week, right?
I'm hoping.
They
Well,
gonna make it for them, right?
I I've I've heard conflicting reports. Heard
Okay.
next week
Shoot me,
or
shoot
two
me,
weeks.
shoot me an email or a text. Let me know what the scenario is. If I need
Yeah.
to do that thing I do where I put a go bag together with some gloves and some industrial sized garbage bags. So because I'll be flying in the opposite direction. Bitches ain't looking at me like they looking at these hoes going to DC, okay? So I'm I'm thankful for that at this moment in time. They ain't looking at me, B man. They looking at these crazy hoes. Shit. I said it.
That's a smart plan, though. I mean, I gotta say, yeah. That's
Bruh, listen, I'm nothing if not a criminal mastermind, okay? Shit. What you mean?
How about this? I want to have some good news the next time we do one of these deals here. So maybe a few weeks out, if I get the news I want to hear, then I want to be able to share something,
All right.
share some positivity.
All right. Well, that works for me because I can use some fucking positivity. So just holler at your girl, but let me know, and I'll click at you throughout the
All right,
week or
you
whatever.
got it, and I'll get these recordings over to you in a few.
All right.
All right, see you next time.
I'll talk at you soon.
All right.
All right.